Wednesday. Welcome to Wednesday, July 21st. Glad everybody's awake today. Yep, maybe. Yeah. Good morning to one and all. My name is Nick Stewart. This is Sunrise Santa Rosa. Glad that you're here today. We've got, it gets better every day. The Santa Rosa, the gift that keeps on giving. Wow, the county is a train wreck. It's a train wreck. I'm glad you're here today. Welcome, everybody. All my risers, I'm glad that you're here. We got some cool stuff coming up. And so just kind of hang cool with us for the next few weeks. And you'll see some cool stuff. So, good morning to you. Bueno, everybody's happy today. It's a good day. Thank you. We had large numbers again yesterday. So thank you for that. That is all due to you. Gulf Coast Guns is our sponsor. We appreciate them. And there's more coming. Hey, they've got a cool gun show coming up. So check that out. Coming up on July 30th. July 31st. Saturday, 31st. Good to have you with us today. All right. Your forecast today. Mixed clouds and sun with scattered thunderstorms. High near 86. Chance of rain today, 40%. Tonight, stray shower thunderstorm possible. Low near 76. And then tomorrow for your Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. Stray shower thunderstorm possible and a high near 90. Presently, it is 74 Milton, 78 Gulf Breeze, 76 Navarre, and 75 in Pensacola. You're caught up on that stuff. All right. Taking your phone call. I don't need my phone. I have to get my secretary to bring my phone in. We will take your phone calls. 850-771-0049. Also, your text, no pronouns. Absolutely no pronouns. Unless it's in the same sentence with the object, right? So, anyway, welcome everybody. So the question of the day is Santa Rosa County management plagued by an ethics void? Are they void of any kind of ethics? Gun swap meet. That's it. It's going to be at Gulf Coast Guns on July 31st, Saturday. Go be there. All right. Yesterday there was some, it's just too bizarre for words. So we talked about Andrew Hill being suspended for 2 weeks without pay. And that is supposed to suffice you. It's supposed to make you go, okay. Well, at least they did that. That's what it's supposed to do. But let me go over. I mean, they didn't give reasons why. Now they have. Joey says they're plagued by commissioners that follow the There seems to be an ongoing issue. with ethics or lack thereof. So Dan Schiebler on the 16th of July put environmental manager Andrew Hill on 10 days of unpaid leave or a vacation. Now, in May and June, the county conducted an internal investigation. And found nothing wrong. However, Director Michael Schmidt said that they had effectively failed to manage and enforce the Waste Pro contract. Per Schiebler's related notice of actions to the employees, the investigation concluded there was a lack of operating procedures, effective communication between staff and the contractor, and a positive working relationship, which caused perception of favoritism and mistrust that the contract was being fully enforced. It has the appearance of evil. Schiebler pointed out that during the process to amend the new and renew Waste Pro's January 1st residential solid waste and recycling collection franchise agreement, there was a lot of time spent considering contract compliance and enforcement. Really? Toward the end of the amended agreement provided for fines and performance failures, such as missed trash pickups and spilled hydraulic fluid. The Board of County Commissioners, who we know are ethically questionable, and senior leadership provided specific expectations for the compliance and enforcement of this agreement. Schiebler said, as the environmental manager, you are responsible for the effective daily management and enforcement of all the department's contracts. The lack of follow-through and oversight provided on this contract has caused senior leadership to have a reduction in confidence. Now, I want you to understand this. That what Schiebler has written up Andrew Hill for, he himself is guilty of with the county. Not on Waste Pro, but FDOT. Let me read what he has accused Andrew Hill of and suspended him without pay for. You are responsible for the effective daily management and enforcement of all the department's contracts. The lack of follow-through and oversight provided on this contract has caused senior leadership to have a reduction in confidence. Run that around in your brain a little bit. Schiebler hasn't left yet, Elizabeth. 90 days. He's not left yet. He's still here. He's not gone anywhere. So he has put on suspension without pay someone for doing the same thing that he is guilty of. It is a bit hypocritical, Howard. It is. Not just a bit. I know. You need an enema for that. But Schiebler then praised Hill for stepping up to be part of the solution. You're part of the problem, but you're also part of the solution. To fix the identified issues and showing a desire and the ability to correct the deficiency. He produced a sense that confidence can be restored, which is more than we can say for Dan Schiebler. All right. It is stupidity. It is stupidity. Now, this comes immediately after the whistleblower, Natasha Borneo, turned in her resignation, very public resignation. Now, I was going to call her last night. Couldn't get to that. However, I did speak to her on instant messaging. She contacted me. God bless her. I find her to be very credible. She's not over the top. She is just trying to provide for her family. And God bless her. She is not a wackadoo. We know that the management in Santa Rosa County has an ethics problem. And we do not trust them. From what I have gathered from Natasha Bonio, I believe her to be ethically solid. I don't have any issue with her. Now, as far as the systemic racism, we talked about that yesterday. She put the systemic racism in her letter, which I thought was a bad idea. Not that it didn't happen. And I've got evidence that it happened. But that it probably detracts from her thing. But that's up to her. Ty says, generally resign in a position where you can impact financials, sign contracts you leave on resignation day to minimize risk. Yes. Yeah. Well, that's because he has an ethics problem. We know that. We've got it on video. He's got an ethics problem. So anyway, so back to Natasha. So we just kind of messaged back and forth. I will get in touch with her. But she's very solid from what I've gathered. Now, this happened, and someone came into my office and said, "What is going on with Santa Rosa?" We had a little discussion. He walked out 5 minutes later. I went through all the thing with Natasha resigning and all the Waste Pro stuff and all that. And then this came up. Santa Rosa County recently terminated a longtime employee after witnesses say racial slurs were used in the workplace. But it's not racial slurs. It's not racial slurs. This is racial verbal abuse. And I'm not going to read what he said. But you can go to South Santa Rosa News and read the article. It is vile. It was not the first time racial slurs were used by that employee who received a written reprimand back in March of 2020. This has gone on for a long time. On May 7th, 2021, the county received a complaint that a supervisor had used a racial slur in the workplace. During the investigation on May 26th, that employee denied using any racial slurs in the workplace following the March 2020 internal investigation, which had resulted in a reprimand for similar behavior. However, witnesses who were interviewed stated that after the supervisor became aware of a complaint made by a female employee in another department regarding the service of her county vehicle, that employee walked into the break room and stated vile, vulgar things, including racial. Now, it doesn't give a name. There's no name given. It was absolutely vile. And anybody who would use that kind of language is just how they could retain their employment is beyond me. Up this long. If it happened back in May, man, of 2020, May of 2020. Is that where it was? Yeah, March of 2020. It should have ended then. I think the racism claim was a matter of documentation. Yeah, I get it. Nope. I completely understand. Now I get it. I thought yesterday that it was, you know what I'm saying? I didn't doubt her. But here we've got evidence. The county has it in the guy's file. It's in his file. It's public record. Now, again, it doesn't have his name, but the dismissal stated that since the time the supervisor attended a prohibited harassment refresher training on June 8th, 2020, the county's annual prohibited harassment training refresher for supervisors is on January 19th, 2021. June 2021, the notice of action for dismissal stated that after March 17th, 2020, the supervisor had been reminded that the county's harassment policy prohibits unlawful discrimination, harassment, and retaliation based on race, sex, color, national origin, religion, age, disability, marital status, blah, blah, blah. But as I'm looking at it, there's race, there's sex, it's grotesque. And after over a year, now listen, the complaint came on May 26, 2021. And now it is July. It's July, really, I don't know what, July 16th. So why did it take so long? Why did it take so long? It is amazing it took Natasha to come out publicly about racism and the abuse before the county took action, because they are ethically void. They don't have any ethics. It is, Bugsy, it's all about CYA. It's all about CYA. It's never about, with Santa Rosa County management, it's never about doing the right thing. It's always about retribution, and it's always about CYA. We have an ethics void in Santa Rosa. Case in point, this is where all this is stemming from. Do you understand that all these ethics issues and all these problems are stemming from this? And Schiebler lies, and the county commissioner's effort to cover up those lies or distract you from those lies. It's not the same person that was made clear in the article. Mr. Hill was suspended for, yes. Yeah. It's not Andrew Hill. Suspension is different from termination. But look, all these things are churning out. I said yesterday that Santa Rosa is a house of cards, and it is, and it's crumbling. Failure of leadership management to set the tone for workplace professionalism, that no one is above being terminated for breaches in employee conduct. Yeah. Now, but if that were absolutely true, Schiebler would have been gone a long time ago. But it's not. Andrew Hill, I think, is a sacrificial lamb. He's a scapegoat. All of these issues are stemming from leadership. Absolutely, Craig. It is a lack of leadership and ethical leadership. If you get rid of the commission and Schiebler, things will get better. But you got to get the right people in those spots. It is not just about taking out the garbage. You got to have something in place. I'm just blown away by these. When you have an ethics violation, when you are ethically compromised. It shows a lack of class. Now, they like to think they're classy. It's not just the racism. It's not just the crappy contract that the commissioners signed with Waste Pro. Again, I want to point this out. That if you ran a business, and several of these guys are business owners, and your negotiation skills were like they used on Waste Pro, you'd be out of business. That's a stinky contract for the county. But they did it. They did it. I want to show you this. This is, I think this is the right one I want. I didn't tag it. No, this is the right one I want. Let me see if this is the one. Hold on.
Discussed later in the meeting.
Okay.
Potentials for that.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, okay. Commissioner Coffins.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate you bringing this up. I have tons of complaints from the south end. I got a lot of south end of the county, and in the north. And let me tell you, I don't get any complaints in the north end of the county, and I'll tell you why. Because in the north end of the county, you could choose your service. You could choose, and that's what competition's all about. And down the south end, there's a monopoly, and the board voted before I got on here, and I believe it's one of the reasons that me and Commissioner Wright got on here. But before we got on here, the board voted for less service. They voted for a monopoly and voted for less service for more money. And we solved it in the north end. I call on my commissioners to help the south end folks. We care about the south end, and they need competition. They need free markets. And so just want to thank you.
Ms. Forrester, you have you're down for LDC. Commissioner Cole.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, just so Commissioner Calkins is aware, when we implemented the South End utility and the area down there, it was between two people at that time, Waste Management and Waste Pro. Waste Management pulled out, so it wasn't a planned monopoly. It was Waste Pro stepped up to the plate and took over that part of it. We were applauded by the people on the south end, not literally applauded, but...
I wonder if you are now. I wonder if you're applauded by the people on the south end now. Now, just because they were the only ones, do you sign a crappy contract? Do you sign a crappy contract, or do you seek out and find somebody?
They were so grateful for the trucks not being in their neighborhood on a daily basis, not having cans out in their neighborhood on a daily basis, that the people in the Pace area asked for us to do the same thing. So before you start, indicating that we possibly did something wrong or we selected a monopoly, if you'll just go back in the history of how this all transpired, I'd appreciate that, because, again, the people in the Pace area, those congested areas, appreciated it, or seen what the people on the south end had, and they want.
Okay, so I know some of you are from Pace. So do you appreciate it? Do you appreciate the contract that they have with Waste Pro? Are you happy? Are you thrilled? Waste Pro paid your salary, Natasha said. Gotcha. It's good to have you with us, Natasha. So, is Pace happy with it? Yeah. I don't know. Most condescending men I've ever seen or heard. Yeah, I know. That mustache, you could probably see that from space. You could see, look at the distance. You can't tell anything on that board, but you can see that mustache. Crazy. Is anybody in Pace happy with the Waste Pro contract? Anybody? I don't know.
They came to this board and asked for that. So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, Mr. Cole. Commissioner Calkins.
So we ask, the people on the south end ask for less service and more money, more cost. Yes, that's what we want.
Respectfully, Commissioner Cole, I have to disagree. I think that that was a horrible decision to choose one company. I think there should have been competition. You should have took bids, and taking bids would have been the right decision.
I just told you that's what we did back then.
You didn't do it now, right before, and this board didn't take bids. They just did a no-bid contract for more money and less service. And that's what's wrong, and we thankfully voted to change that for the north end, and now we need to show the south end that we care about the south end, and we need to give them competition and free markets. And that's no diss to any company down there. We think that the problems they're having down in the south end will get solved if they have competition, because they'll be willing, and now all of a sudden...
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you, Commissioner Kelly.
Can we please stay on task with the agenda?
I'm trying, Commissioner Wright.
Thank you,
I'm trying to stay with the agenda as we have it published. There isn't a...
Trying to get off this subject because it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for us. Ty says it'd be nice in all the county all boards if people with true corporate executive management experience would step up and set the expectation of excellence, professionalism, and taxpayer customer service. It would be nice instead of the good old boy club. Corey says lived in Pace and always had problems with Waste Pro. I'm not happy. More expensive, less service. Craig says, and you won't see all of it because it's a long statement. It was a horrible statement by Cole. There were only two choices because they were going single source. Had they allowed free market, it would have been completely different. If they were worried about too many trucks, they would stop the parade of dump trucks on our roads. We would go to a garbage delivery vendor instead of all the UPS. I understand. He is speaking nonsense. And that's what he's good at. Not the truth. He's not good at the truth, but he's good at speaking nonsense. But the entirety of this general issue is Waste Pro. Waste Pro is the issue. This corrupt contract that they entered into, and there are multiple problems with this contract. You could have a somebody who was not experienced in doing contracts do a better contract than that. You could negotiate it. You could have a high schooler negotiate a better contract than that. Who's been absolutely the best? Joanne, who's been absolutely the best? Waste Pro? You used a pronoun, and that's a bozo no-no. When you look at this contract and you look at Schiebler and you look at Hill and all these things that have happened, it's because of Waste Pro. So you can't do one word, you can't do pronouns, and you can't do one word statements. Just like there's multiple problems when the ECUA had trash pickup monopoly. Yeah. Okay. So again, one word. So I'm guessing because Stephanie says it, Donna says it. I'm just guessing that Adams is the best, is what I'm getting from it. I'm in East Milton and use a little B&L for 20 years now. Okay. Service level agreements with financial penalties for non-performance is generally how you construct a contract. Well, they did have some financial penalties for non-performance, but they've covered them up. They have covered them up. They've deleted the emails. The complaints have been deleted. Monopoly services are always a problem. Yes. This has turned into the Sopranos. Yes, I've said that. It is a Sopranos thing. I'm in waste management. Wow. Steven's giving me props or insulting me. I don't know which. It may be a dig. Thanks, Steven. You did use 2 words. I may have 2 for you. Just kidding. All right. So here's the thing. The Waste Pro issue is a major problem. No, I'm not moody. I just want to make sure I'm clear on things. Angela says complained. Whoop, what happened? I complained 2 times. So where my complaints go? I don't know. Could be in the deleted email file. Personally, I'm glad this Waste Pro issue happened, or we'd be galvanized on the current issues in the county. Sharon, they're all connected. They're all connected. Some may be trying to distract you from this, but they're all connected. It's all connected. I'm going to if Romy's watching, Romy, I'm going to get with you. We're going to get a list and we're going to do a program. We're going to do a show on everything and how they're connected. I feel going back. I feel a chalkboard coming on because these things are all connected. And it will blow your mind. It's convoluted, it's heavy, but you need to see what is being done to you and how it's being used to distract you from what's going on. Well, I can't do all of Romy's. I don't see Romy on here today. I don't see her yet, but yeah, I usually do put up most of her remarks. What else? Dry erase, no chalkboard. Okay. I will. I'm going to try to get that done because it's important. I think that we put out there all of the issues that are going on in the county from the management, so that everybody understands what is going on, and you can share it with your friends. The Schiebler lies, all of it, the Waste Pro contract, the harassment, all of it, the sound ordinance, the no cell phones at the during the meetings, all of it. It's all connected. Oh no. Waste Pro deal on debacle is a clear indicator of systemic problems within our county. And it's been a very long time, but now coming to light due to someone finally having the courage to stand up to the good old boy system. Yeah. The mulch pile. Oh, yeah, mulch pile. The more we focus on trash pickup, the county is flooding. Development is out of control. Oh, it's all, yes. Why is Sam Parker so quiet about the red clay issue? Why is Sam Parker quiet about everything? Unless it's something that doesn't really matter. Sam Parker's quiet on everything unless it's stuff that really matters. It's just nonsense. And if he does comment on it, it's a 20-minute monologue on a vacation his family took in 1978. I can only imagine what else is going on, but it's not been exposed. Well, there you've got that. That's a good question. Sound ordinance came up as a distraction from Waste Pro issues. Yeah, look at this. Look at this over here. Angela, help me. Sam, I would guess. I don't want to presume anything, but all right. So you get this, but we're going to connect it all. We're going to connect it all. And if it's just one of those things to distract you on purpose, because it's not, look, the noise ordinance thing, that is something to goad you. They want to get you angry about something else, not the things that matter, but something to, oh, well, they're infringing my rights, blah, 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 going on about this. It's just noise ordinance. It is annoying. It is infringing on your rights. But when you look at the greater picture, it's, okay, Sam Parker knows the damage the red clay is doing. Yeah. Yes. No pronouns. She apologized. But the big picture here is with how did this longtime employee who used racial slurs, and again, this is beyond racial slurs. This is racial verbal abuse. If you go and read it's vulgar. And if you look at this, how did that go on for so long? You can't tell me he's a longtime employee, and if he's speaking things out like this, you don't just one day wake up and start spouting that nonsense. He has been racist for a long time, and if he felt free enough to use him in the workplace like that, he's been doing that for a while too, and he got a pass. Send some oysters and see how they do in red clay. Seed some oysters. Gotcha. But you only have people that exist. Right. Angela says she read it and it was nothing but vulgarity. I mean, you don't. Yeah, it's bad. And you don't wake up one day and just start speaking that. That is and you don't start just one day and use that. Oh, today I'm going to go on a racist tirade at work. No, that is built up. That is because management has allowed it. This is a systemic problem, not just the racism. The corruption is a systemic problem in the county. I wouldn't admit that if I were you. It's bad for the oysters and other things. There's tons of issues with the red clay. Sheila says, I'm just sitting here counting the popcorn on my ceiling, biting my tongue. I know. Have your ceiling scraped. You don't have to worry about it. There's no account. No. Only for those who speak out against them. Those are the only ones. Look, poor Natasha did the right thing. She did the right thing. But that is not allowed in Santa Rosa County in this ethically void management system they have in Santa Rosa. And that comes from the top. Comes from the top. Christy, you can go to the South Santa Rosa News and read the article, and you can see what he said. But I'm telling you what, it's brutal. It's absolutely the most vile thing you'll read in a long time. But you see the issue. The issue is we have people with no souls. and we need to clean house. Get somebody in management who will actually stand up and speak to these things and clean house. Clean house. Well, we have a hard time finding good people. These aren't good people. Schiebler's not good people. I don't know, Andrew Hill, but he's been put on suspension. He's not good people. But we lose good people like Natasha because of bad people. She didn't have to resign. She could have whistleblowed to the public without quitting. She was being harassed. She was being harassed. I get it. She was being pushed to that point. So, Elizabeth, don't write her off. Okay. Do good people run for office? Michael, good question. And I can't say too much yet. But I will tell you that yes, good people do run for office. And we have some good people that are coming up in this next election that are running for office, and some that are considering it. And so that is a good thing. Good people do still run for office. But it's up to you to question them. Look into them. Now, I'm not going to vote for somebody just because they're my friend. I'm not. There are some of these people that I have some friends that I like very much, but I wouldn't let them feed my dog if I'm on vacation. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to let them run my county. Okay, the Oyster DDO. Stephen pushed that link. Good people running for office is becoming more and more rare as political. Well, yeah, it becomes nasty, but only when you let it. When you replace those who spread the garbage with good people, you don't have that. But it's when you allow people with no souls, that's when it gets nasty. It doesn't have to be nasty. I saw, this was several years ago, I saw a debate, and these guys were very, why don't we do it just like this? They were very cordial to each other. Why don't we do it like this? There's no slamming the other person. I want to hear what you are doing. You don't say anything about the other person. You can say, I don't know what they do. This is what I do. And build it off that. But the critics who vote need to stop voting for these good old boys. Yeah. The citizens. Yeah. It wasn't a good idea. And she didn't feel that she could stay in the area. And I get that. What, the link? Is that what you're talking about, Bugsy? Yeah. This is the link. Yes, the racial slurs. Now, it's going to be kind of hard on this chat thing. So maybe you can kind of copy it and paste it. But you can go to South Santa Rosa News. It's on South Santa Rosa News. It's on our Facebook page. It's on the web page. Check it out there. It's not hard to find. So why are we in this predicament? And how do we get out? How do we get out of this pickle we're in? Make people aware. Make people aware. Share with your friends. And they may be Dave Peach fans. Tell them why they should not be Dave Peach fans. Before the election, they held a debate at Hidden Creek, and not everyone was invited, not notified or invited. No, you're right. But let people know it's not okay. These things are not okay. You can't put bad people in office and expect good things to happen. You can't put corruptible. They may not be corrupted right now, but if they are weak, they can be corrupted easily. But you cannot run an ethical county with Dave Peach, Bob Cole, Colton Wright, or Sam Parker. You can't. Now, I'm not saying that Sam Parker is a bad guy, but he's easily influenced, and that's a problem. Remember how effective Glenn Beck's chalkboard was during Obama era? I don't have a chalkboard head big, but it's the thought of it is what was driving me. All right. Yes, John. Sam he's not standing up. He's not standing up. He sits back quietly or does a weird monologue. Romy says, Laura Weiss, everyone's invited to that debate. It was debate at the old Brothers Brewery. And excluded some. So how do we get good people to step up? We've talked about this and talked about this. It takes people with courage. It takes people with courage. I talked to somebody yesterday who was reluctant, but they felt that they needed to step up. And I appreciate the thought and the labor that goes into the decision, because it is a major commitment. And as I spoke to this individual, it wasn't about the money. It wasn't about the power. It was about the love for the county. We've got to do something. I'm not going to do that, Angela. I'm not going to put that on. Bob Cole's too busy getting zoning board to approve his request for rezoning to pad his retirement. That's what I'm saying. Look, even if that isn't the case, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying even if that is not the case, that you have this thought about them shows how out of whack things are. Most people go like, I don't like to think bad about people, but I'm starting to. No, these people, everything they do, you question their motives because they're bad people. You question their motives. I question everything Dan Schiebler says because you can't trust it. I question everything that comes off that county commissioners. I listen to James. I don't have a problem with what James is saying. You may have a problem with some of the stuff James says, but he's for you. He shows up. He answers questions. He talks to people. The others do not. There's condescension coming from the dais. They cut you off. They follow the money. And that's again, that goes to this, you can't trust them. They have created this atmosphere where that's exactly where you go every time. Sam is following in No-Soul Cole's shoes. And that's a shame. And that is a shame. that we think this way. James Cole is the only one with a backbone. You're right, Natasha. No, that's not true. You have one. Thank you for what you did. And we're praying for you. But we've got to have leadership that is willing to stand against this nonsense. One is not going to do it. One is not sufficient. One is the loneliest number, as Three Dog Night says. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Natasha. But find people. Look, I have no doubt that I know Sam goes to church. I know Bob Cole was an usher or bathroom janitor or whatever at his church. I don't care. But it's not just about people who go to church. It's about people who have a relationship that live it. And people that love the county. They have their heart, their sweat, their blood, their everything is invested in the county. And it's not about padding their pockets. It's about doing the right thing. That is to Natasha. Natasha, that message is to you. James isn't part of the clique. That's why they push against him. He's exactly what we need in there to call them out. We do need more Jameses in there. We do. But they just abuse him to no end. Yeah. Yep. If he did smoochy smooch on the backside of Peach like Colton Wright does, it'd be fine, but he doesn't. Yeah. They're all good people, just bad at being county commissioners. Not judging them personally, judging them on their conduct and abilities or the lack of to be. Well, no, you know what? I have to disagree with you, Bo. I have to disagree with you. When you can be a good person and make bad decisions, all right? But when you turn your efforts and publicly attack another commissioner for doing the right thing, that makes you a bad person. Dave Peach, Bob Cole, Colton Wright are bad people. Bob Cole called out Calkins in public for running as a Christian. Yeah. Yeah. You've got issues. We have big issues in Santa Rosa. There is a lack of ethics. What would happen if you had 3 solid, strong backbone people in the county commissioner's seat? What would happen then? Someone who would, and people who would, now listen, I like James. I do like James. I think he needs to push back harder than he does. He's too cordial to him. Pop him. If someone slaps you, you punch him. You do the Trump thing. James is a Trump fan. Trump doesn't push back. He punches back. And that's how you need to be. Integrity is across. Yes. Yes. That's why we vet the people. You do research on this situation. Tell me about a time. You ever been in an interview with that? Tell me about a specific time where you came across this, and what was your reaction? Well, I would do this. No. I don't know what you would do. I want to know a time where this came up, and what did you do specifically? And you find out where they stand. We need people to punch back at bad people. Now, I'm not talking physically. I'm talking as, so if someone challenges your Christianity, Jesus flipped over the tables. Jesus, you want to talk about the kind of a punchback thing? Jesus punched back at the Pharisees. He popped them because they got self-righteous. These guys in the Santa Rosa County management are self-righteous. And we run things, and how dare you question us? That is a void of ethics. That is a void of ethics. We need more clauses put back into contracts, moral clauses. Hold the BOCC accountable. Thank you, Denise, for putting in the noun to your pronoun. Jesus whipped him. Yeah. Flipped the tables, and he whipped him. That's not passivity. That is putting it on him. Punch back. Punch back. Say to call it out. Call it out, Nick. The BOCC pride runs their commission. It does. It is an arrogance. It is a I'm in control. How dare you question what I do? And we can shuffle the paperwork. We can do whatever we want. County commissioners, I like the housekeeper that becomes too comfortable and starts sleeping in your bed instead of cleaning the house. Yeah. Angela says, I'm not voting for anyone anymore that I haven't met and have an actual conversation with. Not just a political pass-me-off conversation either. I got you. I can't see that, but I can see James getting bolder in his speech on that dais. And what he should have said was, how dare you, Bob Cole, challenge my Christianity? It was all about, Christians are supposed to forgive. You call yourself a Christian. You ran on being a Christian, and Christians are supposed to forgive, and you haven't forgiven, so you must not be a Christian, basically is what he said. And James should have punched back. How dare you challenge my Christianity? This man told a lie and did not apologize to the people for it. It's not about missing the contract at the deadline. It's about lying to the people, and that's where we're at. So let's talk about that and stop challenging my Christianity. You're not sitting in judgment of me, but we as the commissioners are to set in judgment of the employee that works for us that lied. And that's how you put it. We need bolder people. Jernigan, yeah, Stephen, come on, brother. A bar of soap. What does that do? James did vote. Let's see what, how Ed Henry wanted in regards to the LDC. James ran on less government. And James is also concerned about people who already purchased land that they wouldn't be able to. It's a long story. It's not a forum for such pettiness. Certainly showcases how petty the players are on the board. Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When those get cut in a lie, they tend to deflect. And look, the county commissioners deflected for Dan. You see that 7.5 minute when Sam Parker was asked, did Dan Schiebler lie? He went to a 7.5 minute answer with stories and all kinds of nonsense and didn't answer the question. They deflected from what was going on. All right. We got to get out of here. We have an ethics problem. We need good, ethical people to stand up. It is happening. We need you. What are you going to do? All right, kids. God bless you on this Wednesday. We will see you tomorrow for Thursday for more Sunrise Santa Rosa. Like the video, share the video, encourage people. Stay strong. We'll see you tomorrow.